Good evening and thanks for joining us on Nationwide today. I am Elizabeth Omori. We begin with security matters. The National Security Council is reassuring Nigerians that the Buhari presidency will not hand over a security-challenged nation to the next administration. Interior Minister Ralph Aregbesola, who spoke to journalists after the council's meeting, maintains that all things being equal, a relatively peaceful, stable and secured Nigeria will be achieved by December this year. Status correspondent Adamusambo reports.
The National Security Council meeting was summoned by President Muhammadu Buhari to once again review the nation's security situation. At the meeting, all the service chiefs, Inspector General of Police, and heads of other security services took turns to give updates on the level of execution of the presidential mandate targeted at bringing to an end the various national security concerns. Consequently, the council expressed satisfaction with a massive onslaught against the enemies of the land by all the security forces and the major gains recorded so far.
The strategy of engagement has changed, and we are happy with the result we are getting. We are moving to the phase of consolidation of all those gains, so that by December, as ordered by the chairman of the council, the president, which I have said to all Nigerians before now, that will put essentially most of the challenges of banditry, particularly insurgency, kidnapping for ransom, criminalities of that nature, far, far behind us. And we are assuring Nigerians that we are concerned about those Nigerians that are still in captivity of these criminals, and we are not sparing efforts. We will get them all out safe. And all those who are today, they are doctors, they are kidnappers, who face the wrath of law.
The council also reviewed the role played by the Nigeria police during the last Anambra, Ekiti, and Osun governorship elections, describing as reassuring the high level of professionalism, responsibility, and patriotism exhibited by the force.
Those elections have demonstrated our commitment to democracy and expression of the will of the people at the polls.
This is not unusual. We are making every effort to ensure that Nigerians appreciate what the police are doing. The police are there to serve them. The police are there to ensure maintenance of peace and tranquility. And we urge all Nigerians to cooperate with the police to ensure that we maintain peace in this country.
Members of the council, however, expressed concern over the existence of some illegal outfits impersonating legitimate security agencies in the country. One of them is a national task force to combat illegal importation of small arms, ammunition, and light weapons, NATFOS.
What I've come here to tell Nigerians through you is that the body should simply disband itself or risk being forcibly so disbanded by all security agencies. It's unknown to Nigerian law. We are not singling out NATFOS alone. All such bodies that impersonate security agencies and commit illegality all over the place.
The issue of unlawful weapons, arms, and ammunition are being properly managed by the Office of the NSC. And we don't think any private organization should come into this security issue and try to bastardize it. And that's why we are insisting that they should disband themselves or government will disband them.
The Minister of Police Affairs used the opportunity to confirm that President Muhammadu Buhari has formally accepted the resignation of the Chairman Police Service Commission, Musliu Smith, on health grounds. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Away from security matters, President Muhammadu Buhari has commended members of the Nigerian delegation to the 2022 Commonwealth Games held in Birmingham, United Kingdom, for their achievements in doing the nation proud. Receiving the delegation at the State House, the president said Nigerians should emulate the patriotism of the 94 worthy ambassadors who proudly flew the Nigerian flag in 9 events.
35 times we made it to the podium. You all Team Nigeria made that possible. You brought glory and honor to our country.
It is to the nation's credit that the athletes won 35 medals in Birmingham, including 12 gold, 9 silver and 14 bronze.
Our sportswomen and men have become a beacon of hope to the entire nation wherever they wear our national colors.
Toby Amusan also successfully defended a Commonwealth Games title, which she won in 2018 in Gold Coast, with a Games record in 2022 in Birmingham, United Kingdom.
We are gathered here to celebrate these iconic young women and girls who have brought about renewed hope for our country in the global sporting arena.
1,000 athletes representing 72 nations and territories participated in the events. And for more on sporting stories, let's join Kene Bodike.
The Nigeria Golf Federation celebrates the nation's contingent to the 2022 All-Africa Challenge Trophy in Tanzania, where they finished 7th out of 20 countries, describing the success as proof that Nigeria can achieve a lot in the sport.
The reason why this game has not been popular is because we don't even celebrate our achievements and successes. So the team, Nigeria, I want to thank you for going to make Nigeria proud. We're going to have the Golf Hall of Fame.
Ahead of the highly anticipated NFF elective congress in Benin City, Edo State, on the 30th of this month, former General Secretary of the Federation and presidential aspirant Musa Amadu hinted at the need for stakeholders to seek a holistic pathway towards reviving the fortunes of Nigeria football.
We also work and have a new elite advisory board of former NFF presidents and general secretaries. They've seen it over all the decades in their various tenures, and we will tap into their advices.
In the UEFA Champions League, reigning champions Real Madrid extended their clean sweep of wins as Fed Valverde and
nicely sets it up. Oh, wow. That is the moment for Marco Asensio.
In other games, Shakhtar Donetsk and Celtic shared the spoils after a 1-1 draw, just like Chelsea and Salzburg. Juventus lost in Italy 1-2 against Benfica, and Napoli thrashed Rangers 3-0 in Scotland. Meanwhile, action returns in the Europa League, with 15 matches set to be decided tonight as Sheriff host Manchester United in Moldova, Nantes visit Karabakh, Rennes play Fenerbahce, while Dynamo Kiev battle Larnaca in Krakow, Poland. That's Sports Update. I am Kene Bodike, NTA News.
To other stories, the Department of State Services, DSS, is to go after those responsible for insecurity in the country, regardless of the positions in society. Director General of the DSS, Yusuf Magaji Bichi, stated this during the unveiling of a compendium on his achievements at the DSS headquarters in Abuja. Francis Fong reports.
Top ranks of the Nigeria's Secret Security Service, the DSS, are in this hall to take stock of the DG's achievements and the unveiling of a compendium of his legacies in the last 4 years. Achievements that earned a presidential ticket to serve as the DSS boss for another 4 years' term.
For 4 years, we have seen a man who has shown exemplary leadership, a man who indeed has remained very accountable and transparent
a man who pulls orders and they follow.
By the time you be leaving this service, you'll be leaving behind legacies that can be seen and can be felt by even a blind man.
He has institutionalized what I call a welfare regime, a laissez-faire policy, which actually allows people to excel in the service without any prompting.
For the Director General of the DSS, the service is up to the task and committed to addressing the security challenges facing the country.
The next couple of days, weeks, or months, all those responsible for all this insecurity will definitely be rounded up and they will never escape. Everybody knows that when this service said they will do it, they will do it.
The DG admitted that the task ahead is quite enormous, but assures that the service will navigate all the security challenges soon. All the security services depend on us for intelligence, and we will not fail, the DSS boss assured. Francis from NTA News.
To electoral matters, INEC Chairman Professor Mahmoud Yakubu has cautioned civil society groups not to heat up the polity, but contribute in ensuring a successful general elections in 2023. The INEC chairman stated this while reacting to a press briefing by a civil society group alleging that INEC has doctored the voter register.
To make an important clarification in respect of a statement attributed to a section of civil society organizations. The Commission was accused of failure to display the voters' register as provided by Section 19, subsection 1 of the Electoral Act 2022. This claim is incorrect. What the Commission displayed for claims and objections in our local government area office nationwide for a period of 1 week from 15th to 21st August 2022 was not the entire register of voters, but the list of fresh registrants at the end of the fourth quarter of the continuous voter registration exercise covering the period 11th April to 31st July 2022, as has been the practice for several years. We wish to assure Nigerians that the Commission will display the comprehensive register in all the 8,809 wards and 774 local government areas and area councils nationwide as envisaged in Section 19, subsection 1 of the Electoral Act 2022. This will integrate fresh registrants under the last CVR exercise to the existing register of 84 million voters. The date will be announced as soon as the Commission completes the ongoing automated biometric identification system, the ABIS, to weed out all double or multiple as well as ineligible registrants. We appeal to some of our friends in civil society to be guided accordingly.
You're watching Nationwide on NTA. Time now to head to Lagos, where Hingino is standing by with some reports for us from her zone. Nice to see you, Hingino.
To see you too, Elizabeth. Having spent 70 on the throne of her forebears, Queen Elizabeth II breathed her last in the presence of her family. While the world still mourns her, it was time for the British Deputy High Commissioner in Lagos to join to honor and celebrate the Queen's legacies as dignitaries, including Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, joined a commemoration service in memory of Her Majesty. Adiola Komiakere reports.
The short commemoration service to honor Her Majesty's memory and celebrate her love for humanity was done in accordance with her last wishes.
Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II volunteered for the British Army when she was aged 18 and served during the Second World War. She learned how to maintain ambulances and trucks
Prayers were offered for His Majesty King Charles III to be successful.
We pray for our new king. Bless his reign and the life of our nation.
Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, who was a special guest at the service, spoke of her unprecedented reign over Great Britain.
I wouldn't lay claim to have met her personally, but watching from afar, you could see a woman of grace, a woman who indeed, has transformed life, has built bridges in the entire Commonwealth community.
Former Commonwealth Secretary General Emeka Anyaoku, another guest, described the Queen as an exceptional head of the Commonwealth.
She was dedicated and committed to the Commonwealth.
Once you meet her and she starts to talk to you, you just feel like you are talking to an old friend. And I think that's a great legacy for world leaders.
She truly was a stateswoman who stood above politics in such a profound, decent, and soft-touch manner.
She was very, very consistent with her relationship with the church.
Earlier, the British Deputy High Commissioner Ben Llewellyn-Jones eulogized the Queen's connection with Nigeria and the Commonwealth and is optimistic that King Charles III will sustain this age-long relationship. Known as the Mother of Public Service, Her Majesty the Queen reigned for a period covering the tenure of 15 prime ministers and traversed 117 countries on behalf of the United Kingdom. During her reign, she visited Nigeria twice, first in 1956 and 2003, when the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting was hosted in Abuja. In Lagos, Adeola Komiakiri, NTA News.
What could have turned out to be the distribution of diesel classified as off specification has been nipped in the bud by the Federal Operations Unit Zone A of the Nigeria Customs Service. While handing over 2 tankers of the petroleum product to the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, the acting controller of the zone wants Nigerians to be patriotic by avoiding any venture capable of undermining the nation's economy. Michael Olale reports.
This setting depicts that of a petroleum depot with tankers waiting to load and dispatch. But behind the trucks and display of jerrycans are more revelations. The customs said the 2 tankers, jointly containing more than 80,000 liters of diesel, were intercepted at Ijebu-Ode during one of its usual patrol, and at closer examination, the consignments were seized because documents found in the driver's compartment were said to be forged.
We now sent a letter to NMDPR to ascertain the status of the loading of the truck, of which the result came to us that the consignment inside those 2 trucks did not meet the required standard.
The Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority commended the customs for supporting its mandate of getting rid of unregulated distribution of petroleum products.
We pray that this synergy will continue in ensuring that smuggling, adulteration of products, and diversion of products is put to the barest minimum.
One positive the Federal Operations Unit Zone A of the Nigeria Customs Service has derived from the seizure and handing over of these 2 tankers is to continue deepening intelligence and surveillance, as this singular act has assisted in truncating multiplier effects associated with the distribution of this kind of products. Michael Olale, NTA News.
Do not forget to follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on our other social media handles displayed on your screen for updates. Time now for a break. Nationwide will return with Amina in Kaduna shortly.
Federal government is mobilizing mining companies and quarry operators in the country to step up payment of royalties to government with a view to avoiding stiffer penalties. Monitoring team for Revenue Mobilization and Physical Allocation Commission was in Kaduna to engage operators of mining industries and avail them with a new initiative in revenue generation. Dodo Mohammed reports that federal government has threatened to place a heavy sanction on the erring companies.
Kaduna State is among states in the Federation with abundant natural resources. Therefore, investment in mining sector is huge. The sector will lead on 3.5% in the mining industry, according to the Global Index. However, there is a paradigm shift by the federal government to create conducive investment conditions in the sector. Therefore, the visit by the committee to Kaduna is to monitor and engage operators on the need to ensure compliance with extant rules in the mining industry. Royalties expected from the sector in Kaduna State will form part of revenue generated from non-oil sector.
Several fees and royalties are owing. They've not paid. The mining companies are owing seriously, and we have problem in the revenues we are collecting. So we feel, of course, it's an important sector that we should follow up in the state capitals and probably the local governments to sensitize on these miners to pay what is due to the Federation account.
The delegation was received in Kaduna by the State Commissioner of Finance, Bashir Saidu, who told them that the mining sector in Kaduna State is regulated and government will not do anything to jeopardize federal government interests. Dauda Mohammed, NTA News.
Overcoming challenges of traffic-related accidents in major roads during the last quarter of the year, known as Ember months, continues to be a source of concern for officers and men of the Federal Road Safety Corps, Kaduna State Command. This prompted a workshop for safety managers to evolve practical ways of reducing carnage during the 4-month period and beyond. Haruna Mohammed tells us more.
Kaduna State, like any other state in the Federation, witnessed vehicular movement daily. The strategic nature of Kaduna makes it a gateway to states in northwest and some parts of northeast. Motorists plying roads within Kaduna, especially during this period, sometimes encounter road crashes, leading to loss of lives and life-threatening injuries. The cause of such accidents and rescue is what this workshop put together by Kaduna State Command of the Federal Road Safety Corps seek to address.
In preparedness of what is going to happen, the actions and inactions that will happen during the Ember month, our reps. We must know what we're going out to do, we must know how to do it, and we must know when to do it in case of any crash.
Critical stakeholders at the workshop stressed the need for professional handling of accident victims.
When there are crashes and people are brought to the hospital, a lot of things can be done even at the scene of the accident. The staff, after the accident, complained that it's not clean itself. That is a sign of time.
Among training received by the personnel is on emergency preparedness, trauma life support, and effective communication from the crash scene to the receiving hospital to ensure safety of life. In Kaduna, I am Haruna Mohammed, NTA News.
And that's it from here. It's back to Elizabeth in Abuja.
Thank you so much, Amina. Motorists and commuters are experiencing difficulty in getting access to and from Ilawe Ekiti as a result of the road which has cut off along the major road. The development has, however, paralyzed human and vehicular movements on the major road that links Ilawe Ekiti and Ado Ekiti, the state capital. Kola Adebabui reports.
For motorists and travelers plying Ado Ilawe Ekiti road, movement is no longer a pleasant experience as a portion of the road has totally cut, thereby disconnecting the two communities. The situation actually made it impossible for vehicles to move as motorists going to neighboring states as well as Ibadan and Lagos turned back to ply other routes. The total collapse of the road is attributed to a landslide resulting from water from nearby rock that had penetrated the underground, coupled with heavy vehicular movement. Road users called for urgent attention by concerned authorities to make the road passable, considering its importance.
It is a cantankerous experience. We had an urgent appointment now in Akure. We couldn't cross over.
We are just pleading to the government of the day to please do something concerning what is happening now.
The Alawe of Ilawe Ekiti, Oba Ajibade Alabi, who described the incidents as unfortunate, advocates urgent step by government to provide workable solution to the challenge.
It's perhaps the only passable route from Ado Ekiti to Akure, or even going to Abuja, or even going to Lagos. Now that it has collapsed, it's indicative of the need for urgent action on the part of government.
Ekiti State Governor Dr. Kayode Fayemi has ordered the engineers in the State Ministry of Works and Transportation to liaise with the contractor handling Ilawe Ado Ekiti Road to carry out immediate geotechnical survey of the affected faith portion of the road for urgent action. Governor Fayemi gave the order when he visited the faith portion of the road in Ilawe Ekiti, stressing that government will work to put a permanent solution to the road, adding that the faith portion of the road was largely one of the effects of climate change. In Ado Ekiti, Kola Adipopviji, NTA News.
And from Ekiti, we now take you to Adamawa State, where flooding has killed 25 people and injured 58 others in 5 local government areas of the state. To mitigate the effects of the disaster, the State Emergency Management Agency has appealed to residents of flood-prone areas to relocate to safety. Tafa Hamza Mayo reports.
12 local government areas of Adamawa State were affected by flooding. Accordingly, relevant government bodies are up and doing to minimize the effects of the disaster. The State Emergency Management Agency, ADSEMA, in collaboration with NGOs and CSOs, are visiting the areas affected and appeal to residents to relocate to safety.
The last 3 days, as a result of the heavy downpour in Mairawani Primary School of Yola South, building collapsed on the pupils. 8 of them sustained different degrees of fractures, and so many of them also sustained different injuries.
In relation to Lagdo Dam, the Upper Benue River Basin Development Authority, Yola, confirmed that no official communication released in respect of release of waters from the dam.
Human beings, because of population increase, have modified the natural phenomena whereby flooding occurs based on natural phenomena.
At the time of filing in this report, the Adamawa State Governor Ahmad Umaru Fintri is in a crucial meeting with relevant stakeholders to act quick in minimizing the effect of the disaster. In Yola, Tafawa Hamza Mayo, NTA News.
Built in 1982, Lagdo Reservoir is a lake located in the northern province of Cameroon. Its construction to supply electricity to the northern part of the country and allow the irrigation of 15,000 hectares of crops downstream. While the dam serves the good of Cameroon, in 2012, water released from the dam flooded border states in Nigeria, resulting in more than 10 deaths and loss of property. Another effect was seen at the lower Benue River region, where more than 10,000 homes were submerged for more than 2 weeks, and more than 10,000 hectares of farmland were flooded, and the streets of Makurdi occupied by crocodiles and other dangerous creeping creatures. With high volume of rainfall recently, as a result in the intensive flooding, there are speculations that the authorities in Cameroon may have released excess water from Lagdo Dam. And we have in the studio the Director General, Nigerian Hydrological Services Agency, Clement Unze, to help clear the air on this and also discuss on the effects of such flooding and other flash floods being experienced across the country recently. Mr. Unze, thank you so much for joining us on the news.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Let me start with the Lagdo Dam. Do we have words that truly waters have been released?
Yes. The two countries, Nigeria and Cameroon, signed a memorandum of understanding in 2016. In fact, His Excellency Paul Biya was in Nigeria to do that because there are two infrastructures or facilities in Cameroon that are of interest or could pose a threat to Nigeria within the Benue sub-basin. The Lagdo Dam, built between 1977 and 1982. And the weak earth, natural lake Nyos, which is a poisonous lake, also northern part of Cameroon. So to forestall whatever could be the eventual negative impact on Nigerian side, the two presidents signed an MOU in 2016.
Okay.
Now for the dam in particular, the Lagdo Dam, capacity of about 7.6 billion cubic meters. When it was being built between 1977 to 1982, Nigeria was advised to follow suit within their own portion of the Benue. Our own ended up in a drawing board, that's in Hausa Dam, of about 16 billion cubic meters of water. So the MO is intended that in the event they have to release water to safeguard their own dam, they notify Nigeria to take precaution.
All right, talking about notification this time around, was Nigeria informed? Because we understand that Cameroon has a practice.
We have been having that challenge. I recall in 2012, yes, they released water without informing Nigeria. 2019, the second time they released water again. In fact, I was outside, I was in Morovia, and I got an alert from Yola that the river Benue has flooded its banks.
Okay.
I had to keep calling Cameroon. It was not until November 1 they confirmed to me that they opened their dam October 10th and closed it October 31st. But this time around, I kept calling them to give me information. It was my yesterday communication with them yesterday in the afternoon. Yesterday was 14th. They said, we opened our dam, we begin to spray water at the rate of 615 cubic meters per second by 8:50 a.m. on 13th of September. Usually, it's around this time of the year, towards the end of September, if they must open their dam, that they normally do that when they're overwhelmed by the capacity. Once the level is around getting to 216 meters high, the elevation of the reservoir, they are bound to open their dam.
Interesting. Okay, now, are there steps taken by your agency to ensure that we prevent a recurrence?
Ours is advisory. Okay. We did a prediction earlier in the year, which the Honorable Minister of Water Resources, made public and also communicated the content of the prediction to each state governor, informing each governor that these are the names of the LGS in your state you should watch out for. Where we kind of red alert, we raise a red flag on those locations in the states. So ours is purely, basically prediction and advisory. We inform ahead of time. Now, the best we can do in this instance is if we have early warning from Cameroon, they're going to open their dam, notify us early enough, we take necessary action in terms of informing, advising those stay within the banks of River Niger or River Benue, in this case, to find a safe haven, live there for the meantime. Okay. So that's much we can do to advise them, to tell them early enough.
All right, before we talk about flash floods, since there's an alert already that some areas, some flood-prone areas would experience some disasters, are there steps taken to evacuate these persons or to curb or to help them secure their areas?
Well, incidentally, you see, there are the sub-nationals.
Okay.
Okay, if you go to the federal, at the national level, that where you have the forecasting agencies of government at the federal level that tell you ahead of time. NIMET is there, NISA, my own agency, is there. So we do our own part of the work and then inform the states. These disasters often occur at the state levels. So the sub-nationals are meant to take some proactive measures to look at what the document we have given them, the necessary steps they need to take to ameliorate or reduce the impact of flooding.
Yes.
But it is unfortunate that it is only when we are inside it, like this time around, like if you go to Jigawa, where over 72 people have died, go to Lagos, go several, like we are talking about Adamawa, maybe over to 30, almost 30 people have died already. And now as we speak, Yola, Numan, and some other cities or communities within Adamawa State have been submerged. Immigration office at Uroboki. Uroboki is the first point where my agency takes measurement of River Benue as it enters into Nigeria through Adamawa State. Uroboki, immigration office there is like a river that has been taken over All their vehicles, whatever they have there, have been
Submerged.
submerged. Immigration office in Urobok, Adamawa State.
All right, Clement Inze, Director General, Nigerian Hydrological Services Agency. Thank you so much for coming on the news.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. To other matters, as Nigeria prepares for the 2023 general elections come February, Nigerians are reiterating the need for equality, political tolerance, accountability, transparency, and promotion of rule of law as basis for free and credible polls as the world over celebrates International Democracy Day. These, they say, are mechanisms for deepening any democratic system. Olubukola Adowo reports.
Research shows that democracy is usually the most desirable form of governance as it gives room for freedom of thoughts, constitutionalism, periodic conduct of elections, and other principles. Nigeria adopted the democratic system in 1999, and this has awakened the political consciousness of the people and also shaping the political landscape of the country. Yinka Ademuyiwa, a political analyst in Ado-Ekiti, Ekiti State, applauds the steady progress in the nation's democratic journey, especially with the recently amended Electoral Act 2022, but advocates the adoption of electronic voting for the 2023 general elections.
We believe 90% of Nigerian people are born. So, and they can pick yes or no answer, structured question, yes or no.
Some Nigerians, however, say the country is recording significant successes in its democracy, but the journey has just begun.
Democracy should be something else that will bring about good rules, that will create an enabling environment for businesses to thrive.
Be able to at least identify with the tenets and principle of democracy. Things should be done properly.
In Ado-Ekiti, Olubukola Aduwo, NTA News.
And for more reports on Nationwide, let's join Lanre in Ibadan. Hello, Lanre.
Good to see you, Elizabeth, and welcome to Ibadan. Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde has promised that his administration will construct more roads to link communities in the state. The governor stated this as his Ekiti State counterpart, Kayode Fayemi, inaugurated road projects in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital. Kayode Oladoshu adds the details.
7.2 kilometer Idiape Bashonu Akobo Odogbo Barracks Road and the 64 meters flyover at General Gas were awarded by the past administration in 2017 and re-awarded by the present administration through alternative project funding approach to fast-track socio-economic development of the state. 22 months after both contracts were re-awarded, Ekiti State Governor Kayode Fayemi inaugurated the projects.
It is a recognition of what we promised our people and the pledges we made when we were elected into office to serve the people who have elected us without let or hindrance and without ill will.
While expressing gratitude to Governor Fayemi, Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde noted that the projects are aimed at improving mobility in the state.
The construction of this 72-kilometer Idiape-Bashorun-Akobo Odogbo Barracks Road and the bridge has brought a new level of development to at least 3 local governments.
Governor Makinde, however, assured residents of Oyo State that his administration would not relent in providing desired socio-economic structure for the state. In Ibadan, Kayode Oladoshu, NTA News.
A campaign to put an end to open defecation as well as improve sanitation in Kwara State was recently launched by the Kwara State government. Months after the initiative, Aisha Abubakar Yahya visited some areas within Ilorin metropolis to ascertain the effectiveness of the initiative to end open defecation.
Open defecation has always been a worrisome issue in Ilorin metropolis, which before now ranked Kwara State by UNICEF as one of the 5 states in Nigeria with highest open defecation cases, although the Kwara State Ministry of Environment and Forestry confirmed that Kwara State has shifted a little from the latest ranking. A visit to some areas in Ilorin metropolis shows there is need for concerted efforts to eradicate open defecation within the metropolis.
One of the efforts which we have actually put in place
is the construction of public toilets in Ilorin metropolis. These afford the people to attend or to defecate in sanitary places.
My experience at Alapata, Eruda and Baboko areas in Ilorin was not pleasant as open defecation was at its peak. Aside the stench that has taken over those areas, residents are not bothered and probably boils down to the fact that they are not aware of the health implications of open defecation.
The effect ranges from nuisance, odor effect, to disease transmission.
For the Goal 6 of the Sustainable Development Goal 2030 to be achieved, collective efforts by government, relevant key players, and residents will sure go a long way to put an open defecation-free society. Aisha Abubakar Yahaya, NTA News.
And that's it from Ibadan. It's time to join Makurdi Network Center, where Susan is standing by for more reports after this break. Stay with us.
Thank you for joining us in Makurdi. With less than 2 weeks to the commencement of political campaigns, key players have identified issue-based campaign as a panacea for peaceful elections in 2023. Sandra Akeme reports.
The 2023 general elections is going to provide Nigerians with the opportunity to elect new leaders that would represent them, most especially being a transition period. As campaigns commences in few weeks, political stakeholders in Makurdi have charged leaders of political parties to caution their supporters to shun all forms of violence, hate speech, but rather focus on issues that would benefit the people. They also advised party candidates in the various political parties not to use abusive words on their opponents, instead convince their supporters on what they can offer to them.
Politics is not a war. Campaigns should be based on issues. What do you have to offer your constituents?
Always make your own constituency, the women, your reason to shine.
For the youth who are the future leaders of tomorrow, the key players urge them to be law-abiding, especially at this critical time of insecurity.
Pay strict attention to the person that best brings about a solution or explains to you a solution to the challenges of today.
So this is the time for them to say no to those who only come to them when elections approaches. They should rather contribute, believe in the people that can offer them good leadership.
Some political analysts are hopeful that the 2023 campaigns and general elections will fulfill the dreams of many Nigerians. In Makurdi, Sandra Akeme, NTA News.
As the 2022-2023 academic session commences in primary and post-primary schools across Benue State, proprietors are beefing up security to ensure safety of students and staff. Simbiat Agbaji visited some schools in Makurdi and reports.
A visit to some schools in Makurdi, the Benue State capital, shows that in most public schools, only few pupils could be seen in class, unlike their counterparts in private schools, where academic activities have already picked up.
The percentage resumption is about 98%, and lessons have commenced since yesterday, and the teachers are on top gear too, doing their best to ensure that the learners get everything they need.
Just few of the learners have resumed. I think the parents will have to wake up in this regard to send their children and wards to school.
On the other hand, some schools have already taken proactive measures and beefed up security around their school premises to ensure a safe learning and teaching environment for students and staff.
We've employed the services of the police, which are always on patrol. We have well-trained security guards that are always on watch out for any emergencies, and teachers are also positioned at different intervals.
Those of them that have resumed, we have asked them to, before they get into the gates of the school, they have to be thoroughly checked. Who knows? They can be of threat to the school.
It could be recalled that the Inspector General of Police, Usman Alkali Baba, had on the 14th of August 2022 ordered immediate deployment of operatives to all schools across the country as part of their social responsibility in safeguarding lives and property. In Makurdi, Simbiat Agbaji, NTA News.
And that's our package from Makurdi. It's back to Elizabeth in Abuja for the concluding part of NTA Nationwide.
Thank you, Susan. It is getting closer to that time of the year where Nigerian roads are becoming too busy for motorists, and the Federal Road Safety Corps is sparing no time to ensure safer roads for all. Now, to strengthen capacity to minimize auto crash, National Association of Road Transport Owners is keen into FRSC safety measures for 2022. Abubakar Akwanga reports.
This is not the first time the Federal Road Safety Corps is engaging key players in the transport sector to interact on ways to achieve safer roads. But this visit by the National Association of Road Transport Owners is a huge one, considering its role in moving people and goods to every part of the country.
We promise that we will continue to work harmoniously with the Corps at the national level, as well as the states and other fora, with a view to ensure that we achieve the desired objective. Of course, the desired objective of the Federal Road Safety Corps is accident-free roads and free flow of traffic across the country.
As an agency saddled with the mandate of managing Nigerian roads, FRSC says its safety guidelines and regulations are still very much in force.
Your investment in the transportation sector is heavy, and you need to protect that investment. You should put a mechanism where you monitor your drivers, you test them and ensure that they are fit, and they are medically fit, physically fit.
As Ember Month's campaign continues, the Federal Road Safety Corps is appealing to motorists to ensure that vehicles are roadworthy, not forgetting best practices on the wheels. In Abuja, Abubakar Akwanga, NTA News.
With a backlog of registered intending pilgrims yet to make the journey to Saudi Arabia, owing to the 2-year suspension due to COVID-19 lockdown, the Hajj Commission Savings Scheme says intending pilgrims will be required to wait their turn until the queue is cleared, and that making advanced payment in the moment does not make it automatic to make the journey presently. This information was made public at a meeting between the chairman and chief executive National Hajj Commission of Nigeria and media editors in Abuja. The result, they say, is imperative considering about 200,000 intending pilgrims on the waiting list and the reduction of Niger slots by almost 40% by the Saudi authority.
The number in the queue is much, and we don't know for specific the number that will be given to us. In those countries which are already developed, specifically Indonesia and Malaysia, if you pay for Hajj this year, you wait for a minimum of 17 years. We do not think we have reached that in Nigeria, and I'm not intending to frighten. I'm only saying that the fact that you pay does not qualify you automatically to travel. We must, encourage the issue of queuing system forcing us out.
And those who were abandoned at airports and could not make this year's Hajj, the Commission promised to ensure refund of their money with right of first refusal of going to Hajj in 2023 exercise. On that note, we end Nationwide today. Thank you so much for your time. Do remember to always take action against rape and rapists. Good evening.